Levels are a great way of doing image correction. We're going to use levels right now on this image here. Notice it's a little bit on the cool side, a little bit of blue there. And what we're going to do is we're going to correct it using the proper procedure for levels. Go to the layers palette, add a levels adjustment layer. Notice that you'll see a histogram. The histogram shows how the pixels lie in the image. On the left here, this is the darkest point, the shadows. On the right, we have the highlights. In the middle, we have the mid-range. Notice the three sliders. This one is a set black point, or the shadow slider, and as we slide that over, it will darken the shadows. It darkens the shadows by setting a new black point. The black point would be here, and turn all these pixels here into solid black. On the other side, we have the highlight slider. We'll move that to the left, and what we're doing now is brightening the highlights. And say we go to this point, all the pixels to the right of this will now be set to pure white. The midtone slider, if we move it to the left, it lightens the mid-range. If we move it to the right, it darkens the mid-range. That's a very simple slider. Notice here, where the histogram is higher means there's more pixels. Notice there's a big concentration here, and this will be around the sky area, around the sand. There's a lot of information in this image around this region. Notice around here there's quite a few pixels. This is around this region here, in the shadows. We're going to set 3 points here. We're going to set the black point, we're going to set the white point, and the gray. And by doing this, it will correct the image. And this works on any image. Notice here there's 3 eyedroppers. One is the black point, one is the white point, and one is the gray. The gray will set the color balance. Okay, double click on the black. Notice that the color here is set to black. Luminosity, the L here means luminosity, which is just the black to white, is set to 0. 0 means that there's no white present, which means 100% black. We want to change this to 5. By doing that, we're setting the black to an extremely dark gray. It's just giving us a little bit of headroom, makes the image look better, we get less clipping, and it will also help with printing. Notice we double clicked on the highlighter tool. We have here the luminosity set to 100, which means pure white. We want to change that to 95. Now it's set to a very light gray. We're now ready to correct the image. What we need to do is find the darkest point of this image and the lightest point of this image and make them black and white respectively. So what we need to do to find the darkest point of the image is click on the shadow slider, hold down the Alt key or the Option on the Mac, and slide. Notice that some clipping is showing. This is showing us the darkest point of the image. The darkest point of our image right now is here. What we want to do is we want to mark that. Just hold down the Shift key and click. And this leaves a little marker. This marker won't print or anything. It won't affect our image. It's just showing us a point that we want to refer to later on. This is our darkest point of the image. Now let's find the lightest point of the image. Grab the highlight slider, hold down the Alt key or the Option on the Mac, and slide it. You'll notice at the very top is starting to brighten up. That's our highest point. Our brightest point on the image is up here. So we'll hold down Shift and click. Now we've marked it. We have now marked our darkest and our lightest point. What we're going to do now is set them in the image. First of all, let's set our dark one. We grab the Set Black Point eyedropper tool, move it over our point, and click. That's now made the darkest point on our image black. Do the same with the highlight. Click it up here, and we're now going to set this to white. Notice how it's already begun to warm up the image a lot. And see, here's the histogram now is moved. Grab the gray. Now what we want to do to make this one work is to find a point on this image that would be neutral gray in the real image. And I would say somewhere on this bar would be a neutral gray. Click on there And then what that's doing now is that's setting that to gray. See, as we move it, it changes the color cast on the image, and it changes the way the image looks. But let's click, say, here. And then if we click OK, it will ask us this: set the new target colors as defaults. What this is asking is, remember when we changed this one to black and the white? If we click yes, it applies our level, but it also sets those points, which means in future you won't have to keep resetting them each time you use it. So here we are with the levels. Let's look at it before and after. See how much more life is in that image? The same procedure will work in every image. Now notice we've got these little points here and you want to get rid of those. Those are easily got rid of just by holding down the Shift key and the Control key, the Alt or Option key, and notice it changes to scissors. Just click there and it'll remove that point. We'll go down to the other one, hold down the Shift key, the Alt or Option key, move it there and there's little scissors and those points are gone. And that's how you use curves. Levels.